Sam takes 800 milligrams of ibuprofen for a headache. Ibuprofen has a half-life of about 3 hours. What is the rate at which the medicine is being absorbed into their bloodstream? Round to the nearest percent. And it tells us to use A equals PE to the RT, which would represent a natural growth or decay formula. There's a key hidden phrase in here that tells us one of the pieces that's missing from this formula, and it's the phrase half-life. If something has a half-life of so many hours, that means it would take 3 hours for half of the medicine that you took to be absorbed into your bloodstream. So in this case, if you started with 800, that means after 3 hours, it would have decayed into 400 milligrams. We're going to use that to fill in the information for our formula. In that formula, let's fill in what we know. A would be the amount currently, which since it has been 3 hours, let's say, then let's put 400 for our current amount. P is the starting amount, or the principal. In this case, it is 800 milligrams. E is the base for the natural growth exponential. R and T, well, we are solving for R, so we're going to leave that alone. And then T, the only time that we know is 3 hours, and since that correlates with the half-life that we're using, so we're going to use T equals 3. All right, I can see that R is up in an exponent, which means I'll have to use a logarithm to get to it eventually. Since it is base E, we'll use the natural log when we need to. Let's try to get to that base E by dividing away the 800 from both sides. So let's start with that. Divide both sides by 800. For now, I'm just going to leave it as 400 over 800 equals E to the, I'm going to rewrite this to say 3R. R times 3 is just 3R. All right. I got the exponential by itself. I want the E to go away, so I'm going to use its log to make it go. So I have ln to take care of that. I'm going to ln both sides of my equation. So it's going to look like this. ln of 400 over 800 equals ln of E to the 3R. Keeping in mind that ln and E are designed to cancel each other out. So I'll just have 3R left on that side. I'm going to flip this around so it's a little bit more comfortable. 3R equals ln of 400 over 800. I don't need to simplify that fraction because I'm going to throw it into a calculator anyway. Divide both sides by 3 and we will have our rate. That means an exact answer for my rate would be ln 400 over 800 divided by 3. Now I want to get a decimal. It says nearest percent, so we'll turn it into a decimal and then convert it into percent after that. If I get the decimal form of this rate, it would be found by calculating what we have written down. I need to type carefully now. ln of 400 divided by 800. Close it, and then divide by 3. Negative 0.231, yada, yada, yada. So let's go negative 0.23. Let's write that down. 0.23 as a decimal means that it would be 23% as a rate. And since the rate is negative, that makes sense because we are losing the amount of medicine over time. So our final answer will be about 23% of the medicine is absorbed every hour.